Good morning. Again, we need a little light. Oh, there is a light back there. Light on the subject. I don't think that helped at all. Good morning. One of the things I was thinking about, like, with our school system here. Matter of fact, let me take this glare off. Yeah, that was the problem. Sun coming in the window. Good morning. I was thinking about, like, I don't know if anybody understands some of the ongoings, like here in Memphis with our school system. One of the reasons why I do believe that it is gone the way it has gone, and a lot of it is like the people like me that own the property around here. They're paying taxes. You know what I'm saying? We got to pay more money on get. The city this year was mowing the grass right behind me. I mow it once a month, so they were mowing it right behind me. You know what I'm saying? And in charge. So that's why, like the one house, this black house right across the street, her daughter moved her out of the neighborhood immediately. She moved her out like in the 80s when things started getting hot here. But there's a few things I see wrong with the school systems, being in the school system myself, starting elementary school. But one of the major problems is that we are intentionally, I think, not educating our kids, for the simple fact that you might say during the wartime, like 1935, you have to understand that the United States has drafted people. There are a lot of these people, and like fraud and all of them, they was in an area where there was a war zone. So the whole time their life is on danger. So for them to do like very cruel, because you have to understand, Freud did his sexual, all his stuff, the people that he did with his came out with, you want to have sex with your mom, that was the guy on cocaine. His daughter, since she had to figure out a way to make money, you know what I'm saying, she was going to be, she wasn't going to depend on no man to make money, because you really can't, women, you really can't, because if you work 40 hours a week, you're not going to want to give up. Well, anyway, the propaganda is, they do want you to give all their money, so guys go to the titty bar. But me as a female, I'm not going to work 40 hours a week and give my money to anybody else because they think they're entitled because they're male and I'm supposed to. But anyway, that's part of the school system. I know they had us lined up not only to give us, polio medicine and chicken pox, but I remember them measuring me and everything, and I'm proportionate, right? Whatever that means. What's put me in a category, of like they were like, oh, well, you're going to be, pleasing to the eye. And I remember this this one statement about, the guys are going to lust after you. I don't think they're ever going to, be in love with you. But I've been married 3 times. I've never been in love. And they do lust after. And that lust lasts about 2 seconds for, what I'm saying, like they ADHD and they're off in another thing. And then but the whole time, like, they're like, well, I was just trying to get you jealous, or, I know you messing around. They're like, no, I know we're divorced. You're too busy. I would have told you sooner, but you was across town. I figure hopefully your ass would stay there. But their natural assumption, but you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the stuff that was told, that was what it was about, is that these people came from a war zone, right? They don't want to be back in the situation that they was in before. They don't want to be the ones in the concentration camp. It is easier for them to pick on the natives here, because here, if they go from there, okay, they're guaranteed like they were going to take over our place, they're going to take over our jobs, because when the first time they brought in a whole bunch of people in the 20s, these white people didn't have any jobs. You know, there's just so much prostitution you could make money off of. And you could see with their experiments, the two most famous failures is Marilyn Monroe and what was his name? He did James Dean, actually. You know what I'm saying? They was the epitome of like, you know, sex. You know, they ooze sexed out. You know what I'm saying? Now some say James Dean, he became a terrible alcoholic. Of course he was supposed to be gay, but you couldn't have a happy life if people knew you was gay. So you had to fake that you ain't. Which for some reason, guys that, you know what I'm saying, that just opens you up to blackmail and embezzlement, which is another byproduct of money that they can make out of blackmail and embezzlement. The only thing is after they ejected these women, right, they wasn't able to get their kids suffer. You know what I'm saying? Because it turns out that if you want to have a really smart kid, you got to have a really healthy woman mentally. A sick woman, you got a sick kid. You know what I'm saying? That because like what it was gonna do if they could get these kids under 6 years old, right? Get the male and the females, because you can look. I stayed in Wichita, Kansas for 20 years, right? And they had a thing where it was boy and girl, boy and man relationship, and I could tell you a few stories. And every single one of these guys now is dead. But the plan was, you know what I'm saying, these men, you know what I mean, for some reason they was thinking that these kids was enjoying, you know, these grown men, you know, like, and they really didn't like them once they were past 11. So somewhere between like 7 and 9, you know, they're ripping, they're ripping, they're tearing, this boy's body up. And they did go into male prostitution. And I remember this guy came in from Germany, and they were all like, I wasn't invited, you know. I didn't even hang out like with the gay guys, like, you know, with that. You know, I used to go in, was it Fantasy? They used to have Sunday. The guys would go and drag and whatnot. And they had a restaurant, so that was all right. But anyway, this guy came in. Was it Mark? He came in from Germany. I didn't see him when he came in. I didn't see him at all. You know, it's like, you know, like, these guys, the worst thing that could happen is, like, anyway, so he had AIDS really bad. For some reason, they were thinking, oh, white guy, Germany, you know, they got a big red light district. So, you know what I'm saying? And in some ways, the European is more advantaged because they know, a lot of them know that it's about blackmail. It's about embezzlement. I'm sure Bill Cosby, they probably was bringing a woman to him, you know, probably the people that was his promoter, his managers, the people around him, they probably knew what his appetite was. They probably, you know, because these were upcoming women that thought that they could trust the management that they was in that brought them there. So you could see that was all management. So they brought them there. They probably give them everything, because I know people that was in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Every place they go, they got a refrigerator stocked with Colt 45, and voila, there's a bunch of cocaine and everything else. Voila, you're gonna have to pay for that shit. If you don't pay it in the front end, you're gonna pay it through the back end. But it's very simple to change everything around, because in their mind, it's nothing we could do. You know what I'm saying? They done made a grievous error, right? And which, you know, the 1% is still making plenty of good money. So it's not going to affect them. They can keep the same game going. It's not going to affect them. The planet, if it's being destroyed, that's part of the master plan. But the only thing the best thing you can do then is get you one woman. You know, don't bring your buddies that are always talking about, you know, how they done scored on this woman, and, you know what I mean, how this girl's a dot, or you know, my side chick. Don't bring those people around your kids, because if they talk about sex and they sound like they're all about sex, and that's the only thing that's important to them is when they get their next orgasm. Trust me, that is what is important to them. But if the women, you know what I'm saying, we're not going to be elevated to where we are, like, you know what I'm saying, women will always be women and men will always be men, in that sense. But if women are more out to like start, you just don't worry about those men's selfish wants and needs, because their selfish wants and needs is what's holding this country back. This was, you know what I'm saying? Look at China. China's making a whole bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? I see where, like, what they did in Japan actually was wrong. You know, blowing up. It's just pure hate. You know what I'm saying? Because the Japanese is a good-looking people. The Japanese is smart. The Japanese wanted to live off their land, and they was able to live off their land. You know what I'm saying? What did they do? So they could bring capitalists to them. So they could have, you know what I'm saying? And then what happened? They had a whole bunch of, I know a bunch of black guys around here in the 80s, all they wanted was Asian women. You know what I'm saying? Black men, like, anything they market for you, you know what I'm saying? It could be an elephant in a tutu if they say, hey, this is banging, this is what you know what I'm saying? This is what the women want, or this is what you want. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I mean? And then they get you to spend all your money like a fool in one place. Now, they do it with the Mexicans, too. I see it a lot of places in the X-rated thing. But if you really want to go where, you know, sex is free and everything, go to a nice Christian state, like, you know, with a big Catholic. And I don't got nothing against you Catholics, but except for the fact that you're the ones that you know who you are. Y'all some dirty-ass motherfuckers. And you know who you are. And what you do to... Oh, my God. Because I used to hear some of the kids that was going to Sacred Heart. What they do to some of the boys, you know what I'm saying? And then they got their moms well trained, you know, like control, like, well, you know, so and so did, you know, he's just a bad child. He's just an evil child. No, he's acting out like a normal man should act out when he don't have no power or strength, and he only 3 feet tall, and here's some 5'9" motherfucker come along. You know what I'm saying? Lift you up and do you like, you know. Anyway, so, but the number one thing is we do have a problem with our education system. We do have a problem with objectifying our women, and it is a way to hold us down. It is a way to keep, you know, instead of the mother saying, you know, what can I do to keep my kids safe? She's going to be saying, what did Johnny do this time? Let me call 911. My son needs a mentor. Yeah, right. Why grown men, the only thing that they do these days is sit in front of a goddamn screen and jerking. Can you imagine what the floor and the stuff around their house would look like if you blue lighted? And you imagine what type of stuff grows, because it's a living organ there. You know, that's live stuff coming out. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so y'all know what type of moles and stuff that you. But anyway, if we could fix our schools, if we could get our kids to go to school year round, because I don't know what job they're gonna get where they're out for 3 to 4 months every year, unless you're going to be a teacher. And then you know, I've been a teacher, you know you can't afford it, and you know how many motherfucking teachers they try to coerce you and selling your ass in the summertime. Is a multi-million business. And if you want to save this country, we need to save our children. If you want to save our children, we need to save our children. Make them first. You know what I'm saying? But it can be changed around. But the 1% don't think it could be changed around. You know what I'm saying? They want to exolate y'all killing yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll hear night news, black on black crime. You know, white people is white on white crime. You know what I'm saying? If you Chinese and there's all Chinese around you, you ain't gonna go way over to Africa or someplace and mess with an African, and go to Israel, go mess with Israel. You're gonna do you know what I'm saying? The person, you know what I mean, whoever you're around. You know what I mean? That's the one that you probably have the most contact with. You know what I'm saying? And if we're in a society that breeds people to be hostile, because that's what they found out from these stories, you know what I'm saying? And you got to understand, it was all about winning the war at any expense. And guess who was the most expendable? The children. You know, because it's a danger if you got a newborn baby and you got somebody sniper around, the baby want to get, you know what I'm saying? If you no longer just going to stick your breast in there, but you got to go get a bottle, that baby dead. Because you're going to suffer it. You know, you stick a breast in there, everything cool. But see, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I mean? And they really did a number on women. You know what I mean? Really, really did a number on women. The first time I think it was 1930. And then the second time they reinforced it in 1950. You know, and I don't think it's, you know what I'm saying, and it allowed a lot of influences to come that, like, you might call with the sex industry, with jeopardizing women, with, you know, it's all about we're siping all the money away from these people. You know, with that type of mind where these people, they're very greedy. The more they get, the more they want. But with that type of mind, we have a society now that our children are suffering. Our land is suffering. Our air is suffering. Our water is suffering. You know, the men, you know, I mean, please. You know, if I could find one that was halfway, than me, I would have one, but other than that, y'all keep them till y'all fix them. Because they got some crazy, trifling ideas. And first of all, the white man didn't write my book. You know what I'm saying? You got black people around here talking about African Americans do that. No, that's what the white man told you, and you go right ahead and preach that shit in your house. But if you come over here, I'm gonna put you in check, and you ain't gonna like it. And that's one thing they did tell me, is that when I came down here, that they're not going to like me, you know what I'm saying, because I'm not going to be doing things like they do. I'm more political. I don't, you know what I'm saying? That's all they do, and it's like all they do is talk about sex, sex, sex. He was 100% right. So don't think that you doing something and I'm not responding because I'm stupid or I don't know what's going on. It's just that I don't want to be a part of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a part of something that I think is wrong. I don't think I want to be a part of something that's geared to hurt your children and have them all incarcerated with a lack of education and a high STD count. Anyway, let me go eat. I gotta go take my high blood pressure pills. So I just really, I slept rough last night. Oh, it's still a little sore. Anyway, happy Saturday. Think about, make your children first. Women, make your children first. You make your children first, you'll find out they're going to make you number one.